Yeah.
What does he think about it?
I don't know how you get past that. I would be interested actually
Yeah,
to know
please
if there's
tell us.
any viewers that, because I know of some, two for sure, marriages where their spouse has cheated, they've found out, and they've worked through it, and then they've been solid.
Amazing, if you
And
can.
a lot of, for both of these couples, it was a lot of like their faith that helped them get through it, and they went through a lot of counseling, lots of probably hard work. But I don't know how you ever get to the point where you can trust that spouse again, because I feel like once that's broken, like how do you move past that? I think I would just constantly drive myself crazy.
When I think this is the Scorpio in me, because I'm just like, you're done. Sorry.
Yeah.
Next.
Number, taking a name, you coded the door, and welcome to the game.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Dear Dilemma. This episode talks about just a really interesting topic. I think this is going to get a little controversial if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
So if you knew a married couple or just a couple that was dating and you knew for a fact that one of them was cheating, would you tell? This is a rough one.
Because this could go multiple ways. This could be like if it was, for example, if it was like your husband cheating and I knew, would I tell you as my best friend? Or if I knew you were cheating, would I go against my best friend and tell your husband?
That's a whole nother.
Wow.
This is going to get deep, guys.
Okay. I would. I feel like I would want to tell. I was going to say, if it's my friends, like who I'm close with, I'm not going to. Well, that sounds bad too. But I was going to say, if I'm not close with you, I'm not going to tell you. Because this could get into like you're now in the middle of it.
Yes.
But if you were one of my friends and I knew that your significant other was cheating, I'm going to tell you. And it's going to suck. Because that can go back against you and say, well, that's a lie. Why would you say that? Like, what if it's not a close friend and they're like, you just want him.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Help us out in the comments because this is tricky.
It is tricky. I mean,
I would tell you 100%.
I was going to say.
Because you're not going to be like, oh, you want him because we've already discussed our types and they're completely opposite.
Very opposite. Brooke and I will not ever date the same person ever, which is great.
Yeah. So I would tell you. But would I tell him if you were doing it? Because then it's like, are you breaking girl code?
I want it to, if it's my best friend, that's on them to tell their significant other. Like, I would be like,
persuade.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, girl, you really need to like break things off. You need to come clean. You need to tell the truth. But it's not my place to go against my best friend to tell their significant other.
Like my fiance, would you be like, girl, he has been cheating?
100%. I would be taking screenshots. I would be taking little pictures and I would be sending everything to you. And I would be like, girl, you need to leave him right now. We're going to light the house on fire. We're going to do all the things.
Here's my other question that goes in with this.
Okay.
If you knew your friends, we'll just say friends, the significant other was cheating and the mistress didn't, if you knew who the mistress was, what would you do? If she didn't know that they were married or together, would you try to be like we're going to go A your car? No. I'm saying like if you found out that, well, just use me for example. If you found out my fiance was cheating and we knew who the girl was that he was cheating on me with. Yeah. But she didn't know that we were together. Would you go after her? Because usually when things like this happen, you team up with your friend. We're like, we're going to go, fight her. We're going to go egg her car, whatever it may be.
You know what? No.
What's your theory on that?
My theory is homeboy's the guilty one.
Thank you.
I'm not going to punish the girl for not knowing the man is guilty in that situation.
Now, what if the girl, because I would say that too, if the girl does, or whoever's involved, girl or guy, if they didn't know that that person's in a relationship or whatever, then you can't blame them. But if they know and they still do it,
that's on them.
But what if they didn't know and then they found out that they were in a relationship and then they continued? Ooh. Then they're in the wrong too. Then you're going after both of them.
Then, they're both wrong.
But, this is like...
Okay, so I have to come clean.
Please, I can't.
I was in a situation very similar to this,
sure
okay?
You were,
I was. I knew that One of the spouses was cheating on their spouse, okay?
Okay.
So the guy was cheating. I knew the guy was cheating. I was friends with the guy.
But not
the wife.
Ooh.
Like, I didn't really know the wife. So I'm like, this
Do you go against him?
Right. And it's not like he was a super close friend. He was just
That's
like...
another factor in it.
I just kind of like knew about it. But I'm like, do I come clean? Like, this is not mine to tell. I don't feel like that's my business.
Yeah.
So for that situation, I just didn't say anything and I kept quiet, even though I knew some things, because I was like, I don't feel like it's my role to like stir the pot.
If you're not close,
and I'm not close.
It could be weird,
right? Like maybe they're in an open relationship and I don't know that, or maybe there's like more to the story. And I was like, I know that this is happening, but like maybe she knows, like. She can't not know when he doesn't come home at night. Like, right. I'm kind of I'm spiraling.
Oh, no.
Like,
those
maybe
men are little tricksters and they will come up with the worst excuses, but then you believe them because you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's why you're not home. Yeah, okay.
I know.
And then the whole time you're like, what? when you find out.
And then how
could I not know?
Have you ever been, so you and I both have been cheated on in past relationships. Yeah. Were you ever told? Like when you were still in the relationship with them, or were you told by anybody else?
I was told by someone else. It was a high school relationship, not a big deal anymore. But yeah, I was told by some like kind of friends. Like we weren't as close at that time, but yeah, I was told by friends, and I was like, "What?"
His friends or your friends?
Mine.
Okay.
Oh, his friends probably would have taken that to the grave. They would have like, "Good job, buddy." Yeah. But you know, like high schoolers, you're like, it doesn't.
Well, in high school, I got cheated on. And I didn't know about it. We broke up, and I was considering getting back with him.
Then you found out?
But his best friend told me, don't get back with him. He was cheating on you. And I was like, what? So I was like, I mean, solid for the friend that, like, actually told me the truth and was like, you deserve better. Like, don't go back to him. But
okay,
I didn't know about it in the moment.
I have a question about this. Would you, if you had a friend that had gotten cheated on and then they went back to them.
Yeah.
Would you be like, oh, like, why are you doing this? Or would
yes.
you support and be like, hey, I really don't like this, but I'm going to support you anyways. I love you. And then it happens again.
I would be so frustrated with that girl because I'm like, you need to know your worth. Like, you don't deserve this. This is not okay.
Which I get. It's harder when these things happen and I guess not necessarily when you're married, because you could be with someone for 20 years and they cheat and you're not married and you have kids involved. And I get it. That's a lot harder because you have such a history together that you're like, oh, it was one time.
Finances, like all that.
Yeah, and then involved. It happens again. But as like the friend that watches, I would just be like if that happened to you and you got back, I'm like, ugh.
Like, here we go again.
I would move out of state. I would block her number. I cut people off. I'm like, your number's blocked. Facebook photos taken off. We're no longer friends. Don't tag me on Instagram.
Totally breaking up.
There would be no Dear Dilemma. Because that's a hard one, too, is like, you want to be there for your best friend, but if they go back to it, you're just like,
please do better.
Yeah. And I know people change. Sometimes they can cheat one time and then they change and they do better and it never happens again as a one-time thing. But then there's some that just will keep doing it. Yeah. I just don't trust. Like, if my fiance were to cheat on me, we're done. Yeah. That's just how I am. We're done.
That's how my husband and I were like, if we either one of us ever find out that the other one cheated, like, we're done.
Back of my head,
we already both know.
I'll be thinking, like, is he going to do it again?
Yeah.
What does he think about it?
I don't know how you get past that. I would be interested actually to know if
tell
there's
us.
any viewers that, because I know of some, two for sure, marriages where their spouse has cheated, they've found out, and they've worked through it, and then they've been solid.
Amazing if you can.
A lot of, for both of these couples, it was a lot of like their faith that helped them get through it, and they went through a lot of counseling, lots of probably hard work. But I don't know 100%. How you ever get to the point where you can trust that spouse again, because I feel like once that's broken, like how do you move past that? I think I would just constantly drive myself crazy.
When I think this is the Scorpio in me, because I'm just like, you're done. Sorry, next. Because I get asked because of his his job. People are like. Are you ever afraid he's going to cheat? Or like, are girls sliding in his DMs to get tattooed that are like flirting? I'm like, first off, I help him schedule, so I'm seeing all the messages. Yeah. Like, no. And if they were, we would laugh and move on. Yeah. And like, no, he's never going to do that.
Yeah.
Because I would kill him. In the backyard.
And this is, I guess this is a little bit off topic, but have you ever just like seen somebody pop up on like your fiance's phone or something, and you're like, or they mention a name of like a girl, and you're like, who's that? Like, I've never seen that before. I just blatantly ask. I'm like, who's that? And the other day, this is actually really funny because
Do you want me to kill him?
No. Your friend's dumb. I'm the dumb one.
Okay, here we go.
I was like,
do I need to kill you?
I was like, who's Kylie so-and-so or whatever? And I had read the name wrong. It was one of his guy friends.
It was a Kyle, wasn't it?
It was a Kyle. And I'm like, I'm just an idiot. But,
No.
you know, I'd rather ask and just like get that reassurance in the moment if I feel like I need to ask.
Yeah.
But there's not many times that I ever feel like I need to ask anyway.
He's got a couple girls that he's consistently worked on, and they text him, and I'm like never threatened by them. Like, they're super sweet. I love them. Like, we became friends from out of it. So it's never like, what are they,
right.
And
like,
again, I have access to everything. Like, there's nothing to hide. But, oh crap, I was going to go with my thought with this. Woo, there it is. He's like mentioned like a high school girlfriend or something. And it's like, you know, talking, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, when I dated so-and-so in high school or whatever, like, conversation, that doesn't bother me. Does that ever bother you? Like, I know some girls are like, why are you still talking about that?
Oh, my gosh.
You know, like.
Not at all. And, I mean, not to put our business out there, but, like, my husband was married before me.
Oh, so that's
And I was engaged before him.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll talk about our, like, his ex-wife or, like, my ex-fiance.
Like,
and it's, like, no big deal because I'm like, it's so many years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, we're not jealous about it at all. And we're so open about, like, everything that
is called
happened.
maturing people. You may be in high school and listening. You may be in college and listening. And you're like, oh, I can never do that. I'm telling you, you hit a point and you're like, I mean, I don't even remember how old I am sometimes. Do you think I really care who you dated in high school or college or before me?
But that's like a sign of a very secure relationship. Like you said, like it's you just can talk about those things and not get jealous and not get worked up. And it's just like genuinely wanting to know, like, oh, like, was that why you guys ended up breaking up? Or like, what was the issues there? And like, how do you feel like we're different? And how are we, you know, I don't know.
You're so attracted to me. We've been together for over 5 years and I've gained weight and I don't look like I did when we first got together because I came across pictures and I was like, dang.
Happens to us all.
What is that? How did that TikTok go? Who's that? That's you in 5 minutes. I don't know what happened to me, but if he's still attracted to me, then I have nothing to worry about.
Right.
I would hope not. I feel like when they start to lose interest, like really completely cut you off and you're never talking, they may be doing something.
And I think there's signs, you know, going back to the whole like cheating spouses thing, like I don't feel like people need to be paranoid or anything, you know, but I think
please don't be like leaning over the shoulder like
who is that? But
let me zoom in on that text message there. Is that Kyle or Kylie? She'll be sending me screenshots next. Hey, look what I texted.
I'm just gonna read it. I didn't have my glasses
I'll be on the couch. You'll just be quietly back there taking pictures like, what does it say? What does it say?
I think I don't want people to be paranoid, but I feel like if there's something off in the relationship, like you know.
I would hope.
But I do think it's just such a tricky situation because if you know that, I think a lot of people are like, oh, you should definitely tell. Like, you should for sure tell.
That's a hard one.
But I feel like it could backfire on you so bad. Like,
you lose the friend.
Yes, like, and Brooke and I watched Selling Sunset, and there's an episode in the most recent season where Bree goes and tells Chelsea, like, hey, like, I have solid information. I have proof. I have a picture.
Facts.
Your husband is cheating. And she was so nice and so thankful that Bree told her until she flipped it around and she's like, Bree's out to get me. She's trying to turn all the girls against me.
And guess who's not with her
She's
husband
lying.
now?
Yeah. So I feel like it definitely could backfire on you if you get in the middle of it, and that's where I would be like.
That's why I say it. Like it feels like you got to depend on where you're on the scale of the friendship.
Yeah, if they're super
really
close,
super close. I feel like if you're at a range of 5 and up, 5 to 10. 5 to 10. I'm trying to think on the camera.
You should tell.
You should tell. If you're a 5 and below, maybe not.
Yeah. Because then it almost could just
But
seem
I
like you're
would-
starting stuff. I don't know.
If I saw my friend, whoever, cheating, and I had proof, and I'm out with her, she's involved because I'm like, hey, it's not just me, and I'm bringing you in, and you don't even know that person.
I'm a witness now, apparently.
We're going in this together. Sorry, I know you don't know who my friends are, but now because then I have backup to be like, oh, it's not just you.
Right. I
But
agree.
we want to know what you would do. Would you tell? Would you not tell? Or do you have to be on a certain friend length with them to tell?
Do you agree that if you're kind of that closer friendship, you definitely tell? If you're further away in that
If
friendship,
it's your
you leave it alone?
friend doing the cheating, do you tell their significant other? We want to know.
Yes. There's so much that can be said about this topic. So drop us your comments.
Please. We're very interested. Or if you have your own dilemma of that, write it in and we will definitely read it and see if we can help you out. Because maybe by then, it may be an answer of, hey, this happened to me and this is how we figured things out. Or this is who told me and it helped or it didn't. So write that in. Make sure, stay tuned next week. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, Tuesday's episode. Stay tuned next week.
Like, comment, subscribe. Dear Dilemma Official. And we're on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
Absolutely. See you next week.